All right, so let's talk a little logic. We've been talking logic, guys, logic
Okay,
people,
you
right?
wanted to talk about the spa business.
The spa, yeah, the spa. You're the one that brought it up, spa.
I know. But
So,
I thought we already talked about that.
well, you talked about Aristotle pretty good, but we never
Yeah, but
talked about the other ones. You briefly
I
mentioned
did
them.
First of all, there's not as much on them, especially the
Okay,
first guy, Socrates.
yeah, quickly hit it for me. Who would you talk? Who's Socrates?
Okay,
Tell me about
first this guy
Socrates.
Socrates. I told you this before. You don't remember. And
Well, I was on.
Socrates had been in the military back when he
Hold on,
was
help me
younger.
out about Socrates. What year are we talking? Give me some time.
Talking about 400 BC. That means 400 years before Christ.
So this was around Plato, before Plato?
2,400 years ago.
Before Aristotle?
Before Aristotle and before Plato. They're in that order.
Yeah, but they're all close near each other, time frame.
They're all closer because, like, when Socrates was an old man, then Plato was a young guy looking up to Socrates. Then when Plato became an old man, Aristotle was the young guy looking up to him.
I got you.
So each one's a generation, I guess you could say.
All right, so hit me some knowledge on Socrates here. I've heard of him.
Initially, like when he was he's considered like the king of philosophers. And when he was younger, he was in the military or the Navy or something for a few years.
For who?
But for the country, or well, actually the city of Athens. Back then, you had these cities in Greece, Athens and Sparta, but they were like little mini countries.
Sure. So he was part of the Athens.
So he's part of Athens, which is the home. Like Athens was the headquarters of philosophy.
Sure.
Like all the great, for some reason.
The major city, the major place. All this came from.
Some philosophy got started there, and after that, philosophers from all the country began to flock there. So it became the giant headquarters of philosophy. But anyway, so then after Socrates got done with his military and he was like in his 40s, I don't know, he was almost like a homeless guy. I mean, I don't know how he survived.
Right.
But
I'd fit in perfect here today.
Yeah, but Greece had this thing where they had like some big open public areas, and people would go out there and talk about issues. Little crowds, small crowds would gather.
Sure.
So
he would get out there and talk.
He was there talking among other people talking, and he was I guess he was criticizing something about the government or the society of his country.
Gotta watch that.
Athens, their views of what's truth and justice. He's talking about truth, and you could say it was a moral philosopher. He's arguing about what's right and what's wrong, not only about specific situations, but then in general, how do what's right and wrong, just generally speaking.
Sure.
And Plato's like a young guy hearing him talk, and I guess Plato's, kind of interested or thought.
Sure, of course, he likes it.
So when Socrates would be talking with someone, he'd say he might ask them a definition of something. The guy would say, well, it's this, this, and this, and then Socrates would say, well, yeah, but wait a minute, earlier you said something was something else. You're now contradicting yourself.
Right.
So we'd catch these guys who claim that they're real smart.
Sure. Themselves.
Okay. So, Plato noticed this, and contradiction is later going to become part of logic.
Yeah.
So it's almost like Socrates was doing some just fragments of a primitive logic. He didn't have a whole system worked out. That wouldn't be done.
It was just the beginning of it. He was getting it started. Yeah, I got you. Well, stay on Socrates. So what happens when he's talking all that trash? Well, what happens to him?
Oh, well, there is the interesting thing that because he's going around arguing everything that people around here.
Yeah, he's raising hell, saying everybody
right and wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
He got labeled being a troublemaker, and they also said he was.
Did they get canceled? Did he get canceled like today?
Yes, and they
took away his Twitter, right?
Corrupting the young people with these wacky ideas, and challenging our view of what's right. You know, he's putting bad ideas in the
Oh yeah, causing trouble.
So they actually thought he's a threat to the government.
Uh-oh.
And
Yeah.
they put him on trial, and if he's found guilty, the penalty is going to be death. So there was a huge trial.
Damn.
They had some sort of legal system back then. So he has this trial, and he's found guilty.
Oh no!
So they go, you have to die. And he's sort of like an older guy. He's like in his 60s or something like that, you know. So late 60s. So and the way that he dies is they had this poison called what was it called? I forget what it's called.
Poison?
I'll think of it in a little bit. And the weird thing was, like, you could drink it.
Cyanide?
No. And you would drink it, and
Bud Light?
No, you could lay down, all right? And after a while, it worked from the bottom up. You would, like, feel your legs getting numb. And then you'd feel like the bottom of your body getting numb. It was not painful, you know? And then once if it got up to your heart, and it would make your heart stop, and then that killed you.
Wow.
So it gradually numbed you from the bottom up.
Yeah,
but at least it's not a painful way to die.
So, oh man. So that was the punishment for him talking all that trash. Oh my God. Dang. Did anybody try to try to save him? Try to fight for him? What did Plato do? Did he just sit on his ass and watch?
There's nothing they can do. I mean, like, they want to get poisoned. Hemlock. That's what it's called. The poison's called Hemlock.
Another spelling. Spell it one more time for me.
What?
Spell it one more time for me.
One more time.
Yeah, spell it one more time.
Hemlock.
Great, thanks. Hemlock. I heard of it before, but I didn't. Yeah.
So, and basically they're going, look, you can take this ball. If you don't, we're just gonna hold you down.
Sure, they're just gonna. Yeah, you don't have a choice.
So it was easier for him. Well, I'll just take it within the next few days. He had a big dinner with all his disciples, like Plato and some other young guys. Okay, well, see y'all later.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. Socrates, how long did he do all that troublemaking before they kind of killed him?
I don't know, 10, 20, I don't know exactly, 10, 15 years.
Okay, but it was a while. It wasn't like he was just.
It was
a gradual thing. Plato didn't try to rescue him, or set him free. They couldn't run off.
And there were a group. Socrates had developed a group of followers, but there was nothing they could do.
Nothing they can do. I'm real disappointed that they didn't try to break him out. They could have went A teams.
It's just like Trump having followers, and
all
this shit that he's doing, but there's not really they can do.
All right, good point. But they could have went. I mean, it was 400 BC. He could have got on a horse and took off, right?
They didn't have the internet back then, so it was hard to drum up support.
Try to get up support. I just wish Plato could have just kind of knocked out the guard, and they jumped on a horse and rode off.
Well, I guess not. I mean, they would have.
I guess that was too complicated.
The government had all this. They were the power.
Yeah, it's great logic. Guys couldn't figure out how to escape. It's a little worrisome.
But anyway,
I know it was hard. You're right. They're killing them for nothing, so it's scary. Okay.
Socrates had a lot of in-depth conversations about all this right and wrong stuff, right? But he never wrote any of it down. Okay?
Sure.